The sound of Cumbria.
And all the music you love.
The music you love. BBC Radio Cumbria. Good morning, it's 19 minutes to 8 on a Wednesday, September the 1st. I know. We're at September already. You're listening to BBC Radio Cumbria with me, Caroline Robertson. I'm in for Mike Zeller at breakfast this week. I'm also joined now on the programme by the Chief Executive of Business to Schools, Lindsay Parslow. Welcome to the show, Lindsay.
Good morning, Caroline.
So for people who've not heard of your organisation before, what do you do?
So Business to Schools was set up, we're a charity that takes all the things that businesses don't need, so technology, furniture, pretty much everything, and we donate those things to schools. And the reason that we do that is because certainly the technology in schools is replenished every 10 years, where a business will replenish their things every 3 to 5 years. So all of that purposeful life, so we're hearing lots about COP26, sustainability, circular economy, and those things mean that everything that has purposeful life in it must be reused, and that life must be utilised, which in a school where they replenish their things every 10 years means that they can take the things that businesses don't need. And it certainly in the pandemic, it's been critical for online learning, access to technology. So we became part of the Make a Difference BBC appeal. And what an amazing appeal. I mean, our charity alone has found over 100,000 devices. And when we heard about this landslide, and your very lovely editor, Matt Foster, contacted us and said, look, we've been doing all this work with you, and how can we help? And you were upgrading your laptops. Glencore in London were also upgrading theirs at this time, and they donated 60. So every child at the St Bridget's Primary School will have access to online learning going into this new term.
That is great to hear, Lindsay, and as you say, almost 2 years of disruption for the youngsters, for school pupils, for something like this to happen in Parton, it was just another kick in the teeth. I'm so glad that, yes, you got that call from BBC Radio Cumbria. We're working together now to help the children at St Bridget's. Now, we said 30 laptops are coming from the BBC. It's not just us, though. What else will the school be getting, Lindsay, and where has it come from?
So we've taken digital divide out of part. Every child will have access to online learning. So 30 laptops from the BBC, from your upgrade, 60 from Glencore, who are a financial services firm. And also it's really important to understand that when businesses upgrade their things, it's every 3 to 5 years. So although your campaign for Give a Laptop started in January, we have this big pipeline of companies that are contacting us and saying, ours upgrade at the end of this year, or ours will upgrade next year. You can have all these things. So when we got the call about Parton, we knew what was coming through, and we knew that we could help. But they're getting the Glencore laptops. They're getting 120 dongles from Vodafone to make sure we have Wi-Fi connectivity wherever they are.
120 dongles. I love a dongle, me.
So we were very keen that it might not just be the school. There might be other people in Parton that are struggling, and that the school would be able to help those in their community as well. And then BA Systems have given us some smartphones. So we wanted to make sure that we had, access on smartphones as well in case they had to stream from those. So BA Systems gave 50 smartphones, and Vodafone have put SIMs in those. So there's connectivity throughout Parton. There's devices throughout Parton, and those children, they have been disrupted. The pandemic has been terrible for children in schools, so they don't need something else to add to that disruption. So it's lovely that they got all these things.
I mean, you sort of alluded to the pandemic being one of the biggest sort of emergencies that we've no doubt faced in terms of, the homeschooling and youngsters needing access to kit. We hear as well a lot the phrase digital divide, and that can only have been made worse by the pandemic. Do you know, how real is this digital divide here in Cumbria? Do you know details, Lindsay?
Yes, absolutely terrible. The digital divide is those children who either have access or don't have access. And I think what happened in the pandemic, when everyone was sent home and had to work from home, was that you suddenly realised it wasn't just about children that, were on free school meals or pupil premium. It was children who had siblings who had, one laptop or computer in a house, and suddenly 4 people needed access, every day between 8:30 and 6 p.m. and not everyone able to get online, and priority went to those people that were working. So I think finding that digital problem, was so prevalent in the pandemic, but also don't take away from the fact that sustainability and climate change is also, it was the biggest problem before the pandemic, and it's still a problem. And to have companies that destroy these things, they have them data erased, their computers are destroyed. I think most businesses didn't realise that school technology is only replaced every 10 years. So you're taking on an apprentice, and that apprentice has computer skills dating back to 2011. And we have to change that. We can't be a throwaway society. Repurposing, rehoming is much better than recycling.
And that's, as you say, kind of at the core as well of what you do, and indeed sort of the scheme and our Make a Difference. This is going to help the planet. You mentioned COP26. It's not long now until all the world leaders are in Glasgow to talk about this. So a lot of the donated technology is recycled and repurposed, Lindsay. And it's not just technology, but things like furniture as well that you do.
We have been so busy. And thank you so much to the BBC and to Make a Difference, because you really spotlighted our charity. And we were tiny before the pandemic, and we've grown massively because of Make a Difference. And any company that's moving or changing anything, school furniture is replaced over decades. We're putting new furniture into schools. We're putting technology in. On Saturday, we'll be looking for sports kit as well. So we're after pretty much everything, I have to say. But it is important that it's reusing things. And the businesses that have been donating to us, they know which schools their things go to. And I think that's important as well. For children to understand that all the things in their classroom, the children from Parton, these lovely laptops, they'll understand about the companies that donated them. And I think that's important as well. It's a tangible way to teach children throughout their education. Sustainability is the passing on of things and repurposing of things that businesses particularly don't need. But yeah, we're rehoming everything.
Lindsay Parslow, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Lindsay's the Chief Executive of Business to Schools, and we'll talk more about sports kits as well in a bit. Yesterday we were talking about, the expense of going back to school, and uniforms and kit and technology and books, and, charities like Lindsay's helping in part with that.
If you'd like more information regarding the BBC Give a Laptop campaign, please visit www.business2schools.com or www.bbc.co.uk/MackayDifference. Thank you.